Hi guys, welcome back for another video. I'm Jess and I'm one of the creative designers here at Sizzix. Today we're going to be talking all things Christmas Chapter 3 embossing. So I'm going to be showcasing all of the folders, showing you guys some fun tips and techniques on how to make some festive Christmas gift tags, and also show you guys how you can use the embossing to make cards, gift wrap, loads of fun things ready to get festive this season. So let's get crafting. Okay guys, so I'm going to be showing you a few techniques and a few tips and tricks on how to use your festive embossing folders to make some fun gift tags. Okay, so these are going to be 3 different festive themed gift tags. I'm also going to show you some cards and things as well, and showcase all the folders and all the embossing as we go through. But I'm going to do them one at a time just to show you guys how you can use your embossing folders for something potentially other than cards if you're wanting to make something this festive season. Okay, so the first one I'm going to start off with, I'm going to use the same base for every single tag. So literally just a plain white cardstock base, die cut with a gift tag die set, or you can use pre-made gift tags. It's completely up to you, but I'm just using a plain white base just to show you guys how you can create something different each time using a different technique in a different folder. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into the crafting, and I'm going to showcase the folders as we go because I know that's what you guys want to see and I just want to get crafting straight away. So we're going to start that off straight away, and what I'm going to do is when I emboss any cardstock, I tend to mist it with just a little bit of water on both sides. So this just helps the paper get a little bit more malleable and it softens the fibers in the paper. Okay, and you want to leave it for a couple of minutes just to soak up. Obviously I don't want to waste a couple of minutes, but just while that's off to one side, I'm going to take the folder, the main folder that I'm going to use, and I want to check the right name. I think this one is Winter Foliage. Yeah, so I've got a kind of a makeup of how this one looks. So this is how this is going to look when we pop it through. Obviously we're doing it in white, and I'm going to show you guys how to highlight that as well. But this one is Winter Foliage from the brand new Chapter 3. This one is so beautiful. There's so much detail in there, guys, and it's really going to show off, particularly when we add some things to highlight it. So that is the Winter Foliage one, and I'm going to pop my gift tag in there. Because this is a white gift tag, it means that you don't need to worry about which way you pop it in, because it's essentially the same on both sides. So it's white on both sides, it doesn't really matter. Bear in mind, if you've got a piece of card, say an opulent piece of card that is rose gold on one side and plain white on the other, and you want to show off that rose gold side, bear in mind which way you're popping it down, because you're going to have a deboss and an emboss side. So just bear that in mind, which way you want your emboss to show on the side of the card you want it to show. So I'm just going to pop that down. And these gift tags are great because they're the perfect size. So we're going to pop that through the machine, and I'm sure you've seen this loads of times, but I'm going to run through just in case you aren't aware of what sandwich you want to use. So your platforms with any Sizzix machine, you'll have 2 kind of base platforms. You want to remove that top one, which is usually that mint colour. We're going to place that down. Let's pop that underneath there. And then we're just going to use 1 clear plate over the top. Okay, and that is your sandwich when you are 3D embossing. So we're just going to pop that through my machine. And I'm using the Big Shot Switch Plus today, which is great because I'm going to pop that switch reverse, or the reverse switch, and I'm going to roll it back through. And that means that I get 2 passes through the machine, which is fantastic if you are embossing, because it means that you get really nice even pressure. And what we recommend is popping it through at least a couple of times if you are embossing, just to get that detail really, really nice. So let's pop that to one side. And then we have a beautiful embossed tag. So I'm just going to hold that up so you guys can see. So even on white cardstock, I think it is stunning, and you can see how much that detail has come out there. Okay, so now we're going to highlight it a little bit more. So there we go. Just see if we've got a bit. I want to really show it off before I pop it down. So, but I'm gonna add a bit of highlight anyway, guys. So don't worry about that. We're gonna show it off even more. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna add some luster wax. So this is our gold luster wax. It comes in 3 different colours. So we have silver, rose gold and gold. And all you want to do with this is you want to take just a little bit on your finger and then just rub most of it off, the excess off on a spare piece of card. And then you want to really gently add that luster wax to that emboss, and it's going to pick up those raised sections and really highlight all of that detail. And this is why I'm doing it on white cardstock, because it's really going to show off. Also, if you are using luster wax, it's really, really beautiful on a dark cardstock as well, like a black or a dark navy or something like that. But I wanted to keep them all my backgrounds the same. So, and just go in and just add little by little until it's all covered and you're really happy with how that looks. So don't go in with loads straight away, just keep adding and adding until you're really satisfied with how that looks. And I'll get off the excess off my finger. You just need usually like an alcohol wipe or just wash your hands after. I have not thought that far ahead, so I'm just going to wipe mine off with that card. But if I just pop that up, hopefully you can see that detail on there with that highlighted luster wax section. Okay. So that is our base, and then all I'm going to do pretty much is I'm going to add another section over the top with a different folder. Now you could do it with the same folder, it's completely up to you. But I'm just going to do it with a different one, and this one is a festive pattern. So let me just actually show. Is it that one? Oh no, it's not. It's not festive pattern, I apologise. Delicate mistletoe. So that is this one. So hopefully you can see that. It's a really nice, subtle design, really soft, but I love this one. And I'm going to show you guys a really fun project at the end that you can use this particular folder with, because it is so soft. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But that is Delicate Mistletoe, and then we're just going to use that one again over the top. You could even do this from the same colour if you wanted to. I'm doing it in a dark red just to contrast, but it's completely up to you. You could just go with a tonal theme if you wanted and just have it all in one colour. So let's take that off. And there we go. That gorgeous Delicate Mistletoe in that dark red. How stunning is that? So we're just going to pop that on the back just with some glue. Don't need much. And then all I would do then is pop a sentiment in the centre. You could even pop another white piece in the centre if you wanted to do your like to and from. If you're wanting that on the back, on the front, obviously you can also always do that on the back. But if we just added a sentiment, so this is one of our stamped sentiments, you would end up with something like that. So you can see how really quickly that has come to life with those doubling up those embossing folders, adding that bit of gold and adding that sentiment on there, and it just looks absolutely amazing. And really, really simple, but really effective. So that is tag number 1. I am going to show you guys when they're wrapped onto a gift and they really show off at the end. And then I want to show you guys tag number 2. So this is the one that I'm going to make now, and this is a really fun technique. So I'm just going to grab the folder from under here that we're using, Okay, so this is the folder and it is Winter Sweater. So this one is Winter Sweater, this lovely pink orange, not orange, pinky red, get that right, there we go, pinky red colour, and it is exactly what it says, like a winter sweater. It has that really nice, is it like a Fair Isle? I think that's the correct word, like linear pattern, really quintessential, like Christmas festive, and we're going to do a really fun technique with this one, which is, let me grab the gift tag that we're going to work on. Again, just plain white. And I'm going to grab some distress inks. You could use any kind of inks, but these are really nice because they are easy to work with and they blend really, really nicely. So let's grab, I'm going to grab 3 different colours. Working from dark to light, all in the same keep getting my words mixed up today, same colour family. So I'm using all tones of green, and what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to work literally straight onto the folder. Now you can only do this with certain kinds of folders, and Pete has made and Josh has made a couple of videos explaining all the different kinds of folders and a few different techniques. So if you're concerned about which ones to use or what's the difference, then go back and watch those, because they're definitely amazing and they go into really, really full detail on those kind of things. But some of our 3D embossing folders have a sort of flat side. And you'll know this when you get it, you'll see the difference. So one of them has a flat side and then one has a textured side, whereas some of them are textured essentially on both. So you've still got that deboss on the flat side, but it does have a flat top almost, which means you can add colour to that and it's not going to sink into the lines, because we're just working on top of that flat section and it's not going to sink into those details, whereas some of the others you just won't have that flat section to put anything on top of. And you can compare those folders between probably some that you've already got in your collection as well. So what I'm going to do is, with this kind of flat area, I'm just going to rub that distressing right onto the folder. You could use a sponge or even a brayer if you're a bit concerned about doing this, but because these are water-based inks, it'll come right off your folder, don't worry about that. And hopefully you can see as I'm doing that, it's starting to show the detail in the folder, because that ink is not falling into those lines because we're just applying it very, very flat. And you can blend those 2 colours together. There we go. And then we're going to take that lighter shade. Let's do the bottom first. And just make sure you're not going at an angle, you're keeping it really, really flat, because that's what's going to make this work. Okay, just blending those colours together. Beautiful. Okay, so let's pop those away. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take that spray bottle, just give it a quick spray so those colours kind of blend really, really nicely together. And then all I'm going to do, I'm going to do it this way, is place that gift tag on this side. I'm not going to wet this gift tag this time because we've wet this section, and if I wet this it's just going to blur all together. Okay, so we're going to place that there and then we're going to press that down. Make sure you keep pressure applied because we don't want that swirling around, because then it's going to mess up that design. And then we're going to place that through our machine, like trying to keep that pressure on. I'm going to roll that through the machine just like we have with the other ones. Reverse it. And we should get a beautiful kind of embossed coloured pattern. With this technique, it's not going to be perfect because it is, obviously, we're just inking and pressing it, but it should and up, something like that. So I think mine's moved ever so slightly, so I've got some lines, but that's the beauty of this. It's going to be imperfect every time, so don't worry too much. It's just a bit of trial and error and a bit of creativity, so just have a play. But you can see how the ink has not fallen into those sort of crevices, and those little reindeer and the snowflakes and things are still white, just like the cardstock, and then we've got that lovely blended ink over the top. So that's the kind of effect that we want. Bear in mind, I did spritz mine with water, but you don't want to put too much on because it could even go into the crevices, so just a little bit, or even no water. Just have a bit of a play and see what you prefer and see what works best for you. So all I would do now is I've got a bit of silver opulent cardstock, so I'm literally just going to pop that over the top. I've already glued that. I did pre-cut a hole in the top, so I just used a hole punch, but you can do that afterwards if you need to, so make sure it fully aligns. And then all I would do over the top of that is pop on my sentiment. So I've just got my Joy to the World stamp sentiment there with the scalloped edge, and then the silver opulent in that same silver that we popped that strip, just in a slightly bigger die cut with that scalloped edge as well, and it just really finishes it off. And you can have a lot of fun playing around. Like I said, be creative, change up the colours and see what works best for you, and then you can get this really nice blended tag effect that you could use on cards or anything like that, and use with any of your folders that have that kind of flat edge. So that is our gift tag, our second gift tag, and those lovely second techniques that we've shown. And then our final one is, again, I'm going to bring in a plain white tag, and then I'm going to grab my folder. So this one, I think it's called Winter Snowflakes number 2. Let me get the embellished images so we can show that off. It's just called Snowflakes number 2, that's my apologies. So this is this really nice light blue one there, and this one is really gorgeous. Obviously we've got that amazing snowflake pattern, which is very winter appropriate, and it looks amazing in those kind of lighter shades. So that's why I'm going to do that in the white again. And again, with this one, because we're not adding colour or anything, I'm just going to spray that, pop that down like so. Probably got a bit green and all sorts on my hands at the moment, so I'm just trying to be careful. And then pop that through that same sandwich. There we go. Okay, so once that is all done, pull that out, and again you'll have that really beautiful emboss, that really great impression on that card. So we're just going to leave this plain white this time, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to place a little section straight across the middle. So I'm just going to glue that. This is just some of our festive cardstock. Again, not a lot of glue. And then what I'm going to do over the top is use another emboss, but I'm actually going to use one of our Switchlits, which we've got 2 in chapter 3. We've got a lovely snowflake one, and then we've got a Christmas tree one. So I'm going to use the Christmas tree. So I'm going to grab this. So let's just take those dies. I'm going to take them off of my packaging. Okay. Oh, hang on, I've lost my other one. There we go. And what you can do is you can emboss the same design, but then you can actually die cut something different each time. So it comes with 3 different die cuts and 1 embossing folder. So it means that you just need to line up these die cut pieces with the magnetic little circles. So there's little circles, hopefully you can see those on the base there, and they just line up and it should just fall very neatly into place, okay? And you can do that with every single one, so we can change it up and do the tree, or the other one. Change up and do the tree. They're all trees, obviously, but you can change it up and do the different designs of trees. So let's pop that there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do that with some of our festive opulence. So this is a nice sort of shimmery pearl kind of cardstock. So again, I'm just going to wet that and I'm just going to pop that here. So let's just pop that on that side and then place that down. And then roll that through the machine just like you would an embossing folder, okay? So it's no different once you put your cardstock in, but it's actually going to emboss and die cut at the same time, okay? Because it is die cutting, guys, just bear in mind when you spritz your card, you don't want to completely soak it like you potentially would. Let's just stop that with an embossing folder, just because it might not cut perfectly, but if you just spritz it a little bit, then it'll be absolutely fine. And there we go. You have that gorgeous embossed little tree, which is so, so cute. These would look amazing just as gift tags on their own, and I've got a parcel to show you with just these as gift tags. But they're really, really cute, and you can make obviously 3 different kinds with one die set, which is fantastic. So all I'm going to do with some of these other trees and with the die set as well is I'm just going to cut it just with some green cardstock. So let's grab our plate because we're just die cutting this, so I'm not going to emboss it, which is also a really nice thing about this set, is you can cut the trees completely on their own and you don't even have to emboss them. So multi-purpose, which is great. I love a die set or an embossing set that can do multiples, and that's why we call it switchlits, because you can switch it out and do whatever you want. So while this has been drying, we've been die cutting all of that. And let's just pull that out. There we go. So we've got a little tree, and then we've got our embossed tree. So we've got our plain one and our embossed one, and I'm just going to place those literally on the front of that gift tag, just slightly offset, so the plain one and the darker one, it looks like a little bit of a shadow. So let's just glue these down. Again, I'm showing you like really simple techniques, guys, that are really quickly to put together, but they'll make a massive impact on any of your gifts or anything like that, and they're actually really fun to kind of play around with. Particularly with something like the inking one, you can have a lot of fun customizing that. And then just press that down and you'll have something like that. So I've got one that I did earlier that's all nice and dry, and you will have your gorgeous little embossed tree with its little shadow and then the embossed background as well. So actually, since we've done all 3 of our tags, it only seems fitting that we pop at least one of them on a gift. So let's just use some ribbon. I'm just going to use some plain white ribbon. Let's take some scissors and just attach it. And I can probably show you guys how you can really easily just switch out each gift tag, which is great. So let's just add that on. I'm just going to slot that on here. And literally I've just used craft paper to wrap this and plain white ribbon, but just adding that gift tag just really finishes it off and makes it look like you put loads of effort in, but literally takes you 5-10 minutes to make, which is ideal. So the embossing folder makes a great impression, and it's going to make a great impression with who you are gifting your festive gifts to this season, which is fantastic. And you can see hopefully how we'll just literally, if I just place that over the top, how we change it up with our red Merry and Bright one with the luster wax, or that inked one. Let's just see if we've had that one over the top with our Joy to the World over the top there. So just really simple but really creative with adding those embossed gift tags. So let's just show you guys some other projects using those embossing folders that I've showcased, as well as a couple of others that are in chapter 3. I've got loads of projects down here, guys, so I just want to run through them really quickly. That myself and some of the other designers have made. So let's grab, I've got the embellished images as well to show you guys, just in case I need to point those out. So this one is one that I haven't shown you guys. So this folder, let's just find the correct folder. Here it is. This one is Winter Pattern, and this one is really, really nice because it is really detailed, but you have so many different elements on there. We have like little mistletoe, little snowflakes, acorns, all sorts of things like that. And this project I think was made by Alexis, and she's even highlighted some of the tops bits with some crystal glaze, which is great, and then she's even used some distress ink just to highlight. So you don't have to use luster wax. You could use the inks that I showed you on the second tag and just highlight those with a sponge. That'd be really beautiful. We've also got some cards here that the lovely Jen Ogborn made, who I think designed this folder. No, I could be wrong. I can't remember. I don't have the packaging with me, guys, so I apologise, but I know she made these cards. So we've got one just with the plain white ivory opulent. This one is so cute with those little beads for the berries, and obviously that Joy to the World sentiment that we've used before. She's also made some little cute ones where she's highlighted with some gold luster wax that we used earlier, and then just some of our other die sets, that lovely poinsettia down the bottom, and then she's even cut her own little tree out, just hand cut with scissors, and then added some luster wax to that. So really simple but effective cards, and that's what I love about the embossing folders, is you don't need to put in much effort to make a massive impact, which is ideal. Couple more cards that we've got showcasing some of the ones that we've used already. So this is this one is the winter sweater one. Good. And this one has just in dark red, and then I've even done a separate piece with a different folder which we used in the first gift tag with some gold opulent. This is the matte gold, and then some of our what's the word? Pattern paper. Completely lost that word there in my mind. And again, just using those same sentiments on there. So again, really simple but effective. This one, again, just using some ivory opulent, using that mistletoe design. And that's just pretty much the basis of the card. Like, you don't need much else, which is great. And then I wanted to show you guys this one, which is so, so cute. This one is using that Snowflakes embossing folder as a background, and this is actually using some of our white texture roll. Texture roll is fantastic to use with our embossing folders. So if you've got some, or you want to grab some and you're wanting to use them with your embossing folders, then please, please do. They look amazing. And I know that Josh has showcased that in one of his embossing tips and tricks videos. So definitely go and check that out. But then we've got some of the snowflake embossed, and then we popped it in a little window with a little snowman, perfect for winter and Christmas. And then the couple that I have left are with the Switchlits. So I wanted to showcase, oh, actually, before I move on to the Switchlits and show you the projects there, I wanted to show you guys this little gift box that I mentioned before. So using, let's grab the die, the embossing folder, using that delicate mistletoe one, so this one is just here, I actually embossed some stencil film using that embossing folder because it is so soft and it has really nice soft edges. It's not overly detailed like some of the other ones. You can get away with embossing something a lot more delicate like stencil film. Now, it's not going to be perfect, and it's probably going to be a bit of a trial and error, but I wanted to showcase that to you guys as something else that you could definitely try out. And this is using one of our little gift box die sets and then some poinsettia to finish it off. So that's a really, really nice technique if you wanted to try that out, particularly with that delicate mistletoe embossing folder. And then moving on to our switchlits. So we had that gorgeous tree that we showcased in the gift tag. So let me just show you guys the others that I didn't die cut. So this is how they kind of all look when you die cut them and you emboss them. So I did this one on that gift tag. We've got that end one with this gift tag here. So I just literally did it from matte gold cardstock, plain white cardstock, and then a little bit of luster wax to finish it off, and just popped a hole through and made a gift tag from that. And then you've got that middle design just there. So you've got loads of different options with those switchlits. And then the last one, the last switchlet design is the Winter Snowflakes. So again, you have 3 different die cutting elements and then 1 embossing. So you just swap out the die cut and have that emboss in the center. So you have loads of different options and it just looks so, so good, guys. So this, I've just used it on some gift wrap. I think it's upside down. So just with some Sizzix adhesive sheets on the back, and then placed it all across my gift wrap, which is a really, really nice way of using that design. We've got one here where we've popped it on some acetate. I believe Pete made this one, and then just use on that dark cardstock. So I did say that embossing looks really great on dark cardstock, so you can just do that on dark and then highlight it with that luster wax and it looks incredible. And then we've got one where there's just 1 snowflake, it's the star of the show, and we've popped that on a little window almost, and then I've even got another embossing folder underneath the sentiment. So you can definitely mix and match all those festive embossing folders. They work beautifully together. But I think that is everything that I wanted to show you guys. There might be a couple that I haven't mentioned or showcased, but if there's any ones that you want to pick up, whether it's one that I've highlighted and touched on and shown, or whether it's maybe 1 or 2 of the ones that I haven't, then they'll all be on the Sizzix website ready for you to get your hands on and get crafting this festive season. So yeah, definitely head on over there and check those all out and let me know if you're crafting with these embossing folders this festive season and using any of these fun techniques that I've shown you, or potentially some of the techniques that Josh and Pete have shown you in some of the other embossing videos, because definitely don't forget to check those out if you're getting your hands on some of these festive embossing folders. Okay, so I think that's everything from me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I'll see you in the next one, but until then, stay safe and keep crafting. Thanks, bye.